to trade up into round 1 to secure a fifth-year option on quarterback Ty Simpson. But trading away picks in the 2027 draft, which is expected to be the most talent-rich quarterback draft in recent history, wouldn't be smart. So New York can take him here and allow him to develop a year behind Geno Smith and evaluate his future. Simpson qualified as a talented distributor who's accurate in a clean pocket but struggled down the stretch with Alabama. Questionable decision-making could drop him to round 2. So there's a lot of consternation about where Ty Simpson falls. I've seen mocks with him in the first round. I've seen mocks with him not in the first round. We know quarterbacks continue to be overdrafted every single year because of the need for him. Here is Matt Miller, ESPN NFL draft analyst, on the draft stock of Ty Simpson.
I have him as the number 40 overall player in this draft. And I know there's been a lot of conversation about where he's valued by teams, where he's ranked by those of us in the media. I can't find one team that tells me they believe he will go in the first round. What you get is a lot of teams that say, yeah, I think someone else will do it. We don't value him there, but we think someone else will do it based on quarterback need, positional value, and because generally those players do get pushed up the board artificially this time of year. But it reminds me a lot of the Shedeur Sanders conversation last year where we all sat around and said, okay, we don't think this team will take him in the first round, but maybe someone will. And I think it's similar with Simpson this year where I can't find one club that says, gosh, we got a big old grade on him. We think he's going to be a first round pick. It's more so you hear teams say, yeah, like maybe the Jets will do it, or maybe the Cardinals will trade back into the first and do it. Maybe the Rams will make him a quarterback of the future.
All right, to your point about quarterbacks getting overdrafted here, Mark, like that to me pushes Ty Simpson in the first round. I don't think he gets past Pittsburgh, to be honest, because it sounds like whatever overtures Mike McCarthy is making toward Aaron Rodgers are kind of falling on deaf ears, or maybe Aaron's just enjoying the off season and is going to circle back later. But I have a feeling Ty Simpson goes to Pittsburgh, and if not, there will be someone who trades up to get him. Ty Simpson's going to be a first round pick. It's going to be a light quarterback year. It already is. Fernando Mendoza 1 overall to Vegas, book it. And then Simpson will be in the first round as well, and that's it. I mean, it's going to be slim pickings at the quarterback position for the first time in recent memory. And I do think there are teams, and everything I've heard, listening to other draft experts talking to Matt Miller about it, teams are possibly positioning themselves to be able to take advantage of a possibly generational quarterback class next season. In that draft. So there could be this idea of not tanking, certainly not by NBA standards or otherwise, but more of a, we're going to address our quarterback needs next season. We'll have a bridge quarterback. We'll get by with a free agent. We'll do whatever we need to do this season because we want to be in a position to use our draft capital next season. We don't be tied to a first-round rookie contract either. And so it's not ability, in my opinion, that's keeping Ty Simpson out of that first-round discussion right now. I think if he had been healthy for every game of this last season at Alabama, I think he'd already be in the first round in these mocks, and I think he'll be there come draft night.
I can't think of any more flawed philosophy in the world than a team that doesn't have their quarterback situation settled to turn around and go, we're going to wait. If you're trying to get a date for the prom, you know what you don't do? Bank on waiting for the other girls to be available when you don't have a date secured already. That's a bad philosophy by all these teams. Yeah. If you are a quarterback-starved team, if you are the Jets, if you are the Cardinals, if you are the Browns, if you are the Dolphins, you don't have the luxury of waiting because here's the other variables you're not taking into account. One, are we going to stink the worst of all teams next year? That's number one you don't know. The Giants tried to stink twice in the last 3 years and blew it. Okay, when it came to drafting number 1 overall. So being bad is not as easy as people think. Number 2, you have no idea what another year in college for these quarterbacks is going to bring, what their value is going to look like, whether they're going to be healthy, all these things. Furthermore, again, you don't know what other teams are going to want to do. Who's willing to mortgage 2 first-round picks to move up in a draft ahead of you? Like, there are so many variables you can't account for. The idea that any team goes, we're going to wait to 2027 to solve our quarterback problem. How about no? How about you solve it now, dummy?
Okay, but prom comes every year. You don't age out of prom in the NFL.
Yeah, but you only get to go to one. Like, you don't get to keep going.
No,
if you're out of high school, you keep going to prom, there's a problem.
No, you're Wooderson from Dazed and Confused. You keep going to the high school prom. and that's what it is because you don't want to get tied to a long-term quarterback of mediocrity. You want to try to have a quarterback on a rookie contract. Listen, front offices are willing to wait because they have more job security than coaches. I understand what you're saying, but to me, tying yourself long term to a Daniel Jones or a Geno Smith, I think you wait to draft.
Well, from two guys who keep staying the same age. All right. Rich Eisen's show is next right here on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Harry Douglas here. I don't wait for birthdays to celebrate. I grab Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes like rich vanilla birthday cake with buttery funfetti goodness. Seriously, it's unapologetically extra in the best way. And it's sugar-free. So I get all that cake flavor without the guilt. It's tiny, portable, and ready for whenever I need a quick boost. I keep one with me because you never know when you'll need a little party energy. The Funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They're not just window and door experts. They're experts at taking care of you and your home. At Pella, they find the products that meet your needs and their experts install them. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Discover why Pella is a trusted choice for homeowners everywhere. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. That's Pella.com/Eisen.
This is a Pirate Radio Sports Break. I'm Shirley Rhodes. East Carolina softball returns to the Diamond this afternoon as they travel to Wilmington to take on the Seahawks. First pitch is scheduled for 5 o'clock. The Pirates will look to bounce back from an 0-4 week last week, dropping their record to 22-15 overall, 6-6 in the American Conference. ECU leads the series all-time with an 84-23 margin. In high school softball last night, there was an incredible pitching performance between D.H. Conley and Pamlico County. And for more, here's Pirate Radio intern Cole Martin.
On Monday, the Pamlico County Hurricanes made their way over to D.H. Conley High School to take on the Vikings in softball. It was ultimately the Vikings getting the 6-1 victory courtesy of a 17 strikeout performance from junior ace Kendall Howard. With the win, the Vikings moved to 8-0 on the season as the number 2 team in the state. Their current playoff projection is the number 1 seed in the East. From D.H. Conley High School, for Pirate Radio, I'm Cole Martin.
This has been a Pirate Radio Sports Break. I'm Shirley Rhodes. Looking for friendly service and hometown convenience? Make it Country Mart in Pitt County. With 2 great locations already serving our community, Country Mart is your one-stop shop for fresh hot food, cold drinks, snacks, fuel, and everyday essentials, all with the fast, friendly service you can count on. And we're growing. A brand new location is coming soon on Highway 11 right across from Aiken-Crifton High School. From breakfast biscuits to afternoon pick-me-ups and the best fuel prices in town, Country Mart keeps Pitt County moving. Country Mart, local, convenient, and always friendly.
Michaels & Gateway Cosmetic and Family Dentistry has been Greenville's premier dental practice for over 40 years. I am Dr. Chris Gateway, and our mission at Michaels & Gateway is to provide exceptional dental care with compassion, integrity, and innovation, ensuring every patient leaves with a healthy, confident smile. Doctors Michaels & Gateway are committed to providing an outstanding patient experience with every visit. Not only do we offer all your dental needs under one roof, in most cases, we can take care of those needs on the same day. Bring your smile to us at Michaels & Gateway Cosmetic and Family Dentistry.
Come celebrate the next big Pirates win at the Rick House. The Rick House is Greenville and Eastern North Carolina's premier American-themed restaurant.
I'm Jeremy Shelton, General Manager at the Rick House. Come see us for a big city feel right here in Greenville. I guarantee you'll have a great experience.
We feature the very best bourbons around. Our made-from-scratch pastas are to die for, and nobody does steak like the Rick House. We also feature an early dining special from 4 to 6. Come see us at the Rick House, Red Banks Road in Greenville.
Ready to take the road less traveled? This March, get behind the wheel of a new 2026 Subaru Crosstrek base at Capital Subaru of Greenville. Lease it for $235 a month for 36 months. And don't forget about the Subaru A Lot to Love event, all happening right now at Capital Subaru of Greenville, off Memorial Drive or online at capitalofgreenville.com. Proud official partner of the ECU Pirates. Price does not include licensing costs or registration fees. See dealer for details. Offer expires March 31st, 2026.
A new feature menu has arrived at Basil's in Greenville. Basil's new specialty menu is full of great favorable dishes like roast beef melt, creamy beef ziti, chicken hibachi pizza, apple strudel pizza, plus $4.50 margaritas every Tuesday and $3 North Carolina craft beers on Wednesday. Basil's regular menu and favorites are always available for lunch and dinner. Eat local, drink local at Basil's, your community restaurant and pizzeria on Fire Tower Road in Greenville. Basil's, Pirates supporting Pirates.
If you missed Pirate Radio Live, you missed
head coach of the ECU women's basketball Pirates, Kim McNeil. How about Kennedy Fauntleroy and what she was able to do? Good to see her, receive the accolades she did yesterday.
I don't know if there has been a ECU women's basketball player that came away as decorated as she's coming away from this season. I would be lying if I told you I was a little disappointed that she didn't get Player of the Year. And then I was a little upset, that Anjanae Hutton didn't make a team. But at the end of the day, it's about winning. And that's where they are right now. Both of those young women, they'd rather win a championship, and that's their mindset. They want to go in this weekend and win a championship.
Pirate Radio Live, weekdays from 3 to 6, exclusively on Pirate Radio, Pirate Radio TV on YouTube, and on the Pirate Radio app. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Here's the best part, our YouTube channel. Subscribe at youtube.com/Rich Eisen Show, and you'll never miss a moment. Now, on with the show. This is the Rich Eisen Show.
And I'm living my best life right now.
Rich Eisen.
Michigan makes the Final Four by curb stomping Tennessee.
From the Rich Eisen Show.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Eastern North Carolina's longest-running sports radio show. The Brian Bailey Show is on the air. The Brian Bailey Show on Pirate Radio is brought to you by
Bojangles, Bostic Sugg, Michelob Ultra, East Coast Grading, DriveHereNow.com, Greenville Utilities, Papa John's, Pepsi, Taft and Hagler, The Rick House, and Tiebreakers.
And now, here's Brian Bailey.
Good Tuesday, everybody, and welcome into our show. Rarely do we have celebrities like we have in here today. To my left, former East Carolina basketball coach Mike Steele. To my far left, the legend that is Drew Steele. Drew, welcome.
Thank you, Brian Bailey.
I'm glad you're here.
Brian Bailey.
I'm glad you're here. We're going to talk anything and everything sports. We'll obviously talk about the NCAA tournament. What have you thought so far, Coach Steele? Crazy tournament, huh?
No, it's incredible, though. I mean, the Duke game, I was watching, it was 44-25, and I said, well, I had Duke, and I had Michigan, and I had Arizona against my Boilermakers, unfortunately. Yep. But I didn't see that coming.
Whew, man, it was something. We'll dive into that coming up as our show continues with the Steels right after this.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
With the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries.
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. It's bow time.
Spring is a great time to plant flowers, trees, and bushes. When planning your landscape, please keep in mind that you should never plant anything within 3 feet of a gas, electric, or water meter. The same thing applies if you have an electric transformer in your yard, except keep plants 8 feet clear of the front in case crews need access during a storm or an outage. Always remember to call 811 at least 3 business days before you dig to avoid underground lines. This important safety message is from your neighbors at Greenville Utilities.
Your future is full of possibilities, and Pitt Community College can help you explore every option. You can earn a degree, learn a trade, transfer to a university, or launch a new career. We offer the support you need to succeed with flexible schedules, affordable tuition, and programs designed for the real world. Your path, your future, your college. Pitt Community College. Register now.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Good news, business travelers. PGV and American Airlines has added a new early morning flight available now. Book today at aa.com and be on time for that connection in Charlotte. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American flights perfect for your next trip. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
Hey, Pirates
Pirate Nation. Warm weather is here and it's time to get back on the boat. And at Stroud's Marine, they're stocked up with over 26,000 pre-owned parts. They got everything you need from propellers, lower units, trim units, electrical and fuel parts, and just about anything else you need for an outboard. Stay up to date with the latest deals, parts, and promotions by following them on social media. And as always, their mission is to save you money and get you back on the water as quickly as possible. Remember, they're just around the corner. Stop by the shop at 865 Rivet Street in Greenville. For more information, head to StroudsMarine.com. Stroud's Marine, your best source for salvaged outboard parts. Need to sell your house fast without fixing or even cleaning it? Call the Turner Home Team.
Hey, this is proud ECU alumni Justin Turner with the Turner Home Team. We buy houses as is in any condition for cash, and we can close in just days. As a real estate investor and licensed agent, my team and I can give you options when you need to sell. Sell fast or sell for top dollar. You choose what's best.
Call Turner Home Team or visit theturnerhometeam.com. They'll make a no-obligation cash offer for your home today.
Turner Home Team. Pirates supporting pirates.
This is Ryan Jones, and you listen to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, providing reliable utility solutions to the Greenville region since 1905. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show on this Tuesday. The Steeles, Drew Steele, Mike Steele, live in the studio with us, talking anything and everything basketball. 6 years at DePaul. And then you came to East Carolina for a 4-year stint, 48 and 68. The referees got you on at least 10 of those games, so it should have been a 500 record, right?
I think it was, that's when you started. I came the same year. You did the same. And you know what, Mike, the trainer.
Hanley?
Yeah, he came the same time, too.
He sure did. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Oh,
man. Back in the day, because we did the Mike Steele show, and I remember so many memories of that, and just the steel workers, and you had different things were going at the Coliseum. Because basically, when you take that coaching job, it's a sales job to try to get people out.
Yes.
And I don't know, through the years, every time a coach gets hired, I always say, do you know how hard this job is? And they always look at me like, oh, I got it. And I don't think anybody's had it yet.
Not yet. No, not yet. No, Eddie Payne followed me, and we just had the alumni weekend 2 weeks ago, and a lot of guys came back. But Eddie, and I really liked Eddie. I were friends before and after. But everybody that played in that championship game, when they won, we had recruited every one of them.
Yep.
And they were all came back.
That.
Curly Young
from Deep Creek High School in Chesapeake, Virginia.
Well, I went to see Curly. I heard he was going to transfer. Couldn't get a hold of him. Drove to Maryland. Went to his dorm. I'm sure it's against every NCAA regulation.
There aren't no regulations anymore, but back then there were.
No, yeah. And so I convinced him to come. He had to sit out a year, but then he ended up being a really good player for us. I mean, Lester Lyons, the same, Ike Copeland, all those guys. It was neat to see those guys because, we had them as freshmen. Made one of the guys redshirt. He didn't want a redshirt. His parents didn't want him to. He ended up being player of the year in the conference his senior year. I mean, yeah, they were good guys. Yeah. But it is a hard gig. It's hard.
Man, it was something. And just, some of the things, remember we went out to sell the coaches show. And you and I on a beaten path, and I remember, was it Plymouth? We rolled up on the car dealership with no cars.
No, they had 2 cars.
They had 2 cars in the lot.
And remember, I told the guy.
And Steele says, we got this. I said, Coach, we're wasting our time.
I went in and told the guy, I said, we're only taking 1 car dealer, and you're the guy. Remember, he called his wife and said, honey, I got great news.
Yeah.
And we got in the car and you said, Steele, how do you sleep at night? I remember you saying that. I was like, BB, we got to do whatever we can do.
Yeah. And we got back. We were so proud. And then the Dave Hart and Company said, you can't have a car dealership. So we had to give it back.
No.
Yeah.
And that was the same time we had Budweiser.
Yeah.
And they said we can't do the Budweiser, but they could do the
Pigskin Pig Out was all of that.
Was Miller Lite.
Yeah. That was crazy, man. Back in the day. And the one that I always remember, and I know it's on tape somewhere, I had a copy, you had a copy, I can't find mine, but was the Mike Steele show. And we started laughing because you guys were going to Nashville, Tennessee on a trip.
Dolly Parton.
And I said, you're going to go to Dollywood, and I didn't mean it like that. well, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see what I'm doing. My hands are in front of my chest, but
oh my gosh,
we started laughing, and
it took us 2 hours to do a 15
minutes worth of material. And it took us forever and a day.
And you know what, BB, the one I remember the most, the first year. I mean, we had walk-ons playing. It was just a nightmare. But James Madison was favored to win the league.
Yep.
And we went to James Madison, and there was no shot clock. We held the ball. We did all that stuff. And we beat them like 43-40 or something. And so we're on the bus coming back. And, I mean, they're favored to win the league. We're playing South Carolina next. They're in the top 20, top 50 in the country at our place. We all think, the coaches all think we got a plan. We know how to do it now. You know, we got to hold the ball a little bit. The players, nobody slept all the way back home. That game starts, South Carolina. We can't get the ball up the floor. They're trapping it. We're down 20 at half. And we hear this huge roar at halftime. The kid makes the half-point shot to win a car.
Yeah.
And remember, like you and I talked, I said, BB, there's nothing we can show. We can't show any video. You know, we just got killed. Let's track this kid down, and we'll have him. We'll make him the big deal.
Right.
So I find the kid. He comes in. We have him shoot half-court shots for 4 or 5 times. Can't hit the rim, and then does another one. And then remember, I said, "Well, what'd you think when you won?" He goes, "Coach, we've been doing a little partying at the fraternity before he came." He said, "To be honest with you, I thought I won a pizza." And we won a car. That was the highlight of the whole season that year, I think, or at least one of them.
I remember going in one of the first practices, and I looked around, and I think Gus Hill, part of that group. Yeah. Gus Hill was built like an offensive guard. He could play.
No.
But he was built like an
offensive guard, and he'd had knee surgery 3 times in one day.
He had these big, back in the day, he had these big buckling knee braces. I mean, both knees. But I looked around, and I remember we were at practice one time, and you got mad and threw down your whistle as hard as you could, but it wasn't your whistle, it was your watch.
Yeah.
And you shattered it. I think Britt was with me. So we went around, and we picked up all the pieces of the watch. And at the end of the year, when you had your little, you have your award ceremony, we put down all those pieces of the watch on a plaque and said Coach Steele's practice whistle, and presented it to you. I thought that was just
that just shows
great theater.
That just shows neither you or Britt really have ever been real busy with your work. No, my boy Britt, he had a great line. You know, I've known Britt we're talking about Britt Laverne. I was the Bostic Sug.
Yeah, congratulations to him. He's getting ready to start a new life.
I'm happy for him, but because that retail stuff is awful. It's like coaching.
I bet.
But he, with all this, when the NIL came, but also the portal, one day he says, he saw me practice a lot, and I was kind of old school, and he says, Steele, if you were coaching now, guys that say they had to go to the restroom and they'd end up at Wilmington, you wouldn't even know they left.
They'd be in the portal before they got back to practice.
Yeah. Where's so-and-so? He's starting for Wilmington tonight.
Best story, Reed Lose, and he was late for practice. With the alarm clock? Yeah.
Oh, no, that was a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
No, Reed was late in the morning. He was a co-captain, and he was late, and he didn't show up, and so he was rooming with Donnie, who was the manager. And I said, Donnie, did Reed? He goes, Coach, I left. He was he was there. So Reed comes the next day and says, I'm sorry, Coach, I think my clock is broken. I said, okay, we can't have it happen again. You're a co-captain. Well, about a week later, same thing. So I asked Donnie, I said, Donnie, is your door unlocked? He goes, I think so. I said, good. It's 6:30 in the morning. I go over to his condo, his apartment complex. He's on the 3rd floor. And I just go right in. He's sound asleep. And so I'm standing right over him. He opens his eyes. I take that clock radio out of the wall. I just pull it out. I go to the outside of the veranda, and I throw it off the 3rd floor. And I walk out. I said, well, at least we know one thing, Reed. That clock radio is broke. You don't need to think very much about it. But I don't know if you knew this, but so I get back, And I go up to the office, and Henry Van Sant. God bless him.
Dr. Van Sant.
Dr. Van Sant. He was pretty conservative. And he comes in and he says, Mike, you won't believe what happened this morning. I got a phone call, and some lady said they saw you, and you were yelling and screaming, and you threw a TV off the 3rd floor of an apartment complex. And I said, that's not true. He goes, oh, good. I said, it was a clock radio. And he looked at me, and he said, what were you thinking? I said, Henry, it was a teaching moment. Because if you coach, you can't just do like you do a teaching, like a class. Like, we'd really like to have you rebound a little more. It doesn't work that way. No. So I said it was a teaching moment. And then we went to Hawaii that year over Christmas, and everybody drew a name of somebody to get a gift. And, of course, I drew Reed, and I got him a new clock radio, and all the guys are doing stuff. And to this day, I bet I've played golf with Reed maybe 50 times. And every time I call him, I go, the tee time's 1:10. He goes, I'll be there 12:30.
Exactly.
He said, Coach, I've never been late for anything since. So it was a teaching moment.
It was, and he learned.
Yeah.
I think you're right there on it. And it's weird how things have changed. That not only at East Carolina, but I think just about every other place, you just don't get a chance to be around the guys as much. I mean, I think, there's so much interest in people trying to keep their own kids. They don't want them exposed. They don't want them out there. They don't want people to know they're really good kids because somebody else is going to want them.
No.
So, I mean, I don't know any of the players these days because they're not here long enough is another reason. But like I knew those guys, Jeff Kelly and Reed Lose and Ike Copeland and just great. Like you said, Curley. I mean, those guys, I haven't seen them in years. But Lester Lyons, man.
I talked to Lester last week, and I said, because Lester goes, Coach, when am I getting my NIL check? I said, Lester, I've been working on it, Lester. I said, check your mailbox the next couple of weeks. Just walk out. You'll probably get a big check. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know how guys do it now. I don't know how you can tell who's a good coach, a bad coach. I mean, you hear like the football coach at Illinois said, I love the NIL. He said, we're beating kids on Georgia and Alabama for one reason. We got 4 billionaires. We're paying more money than anybody. They're going to Champaign, Illinois over Ohio State because they're getting paid more money.
Right.
It's crazy.
It's just, that's what it is. Like everything that SMU did to get the death penalty is now A1 perfectly legal. And
Calvin Sampson got fired at Indiana. He and his staff were sending text messages during the dead period. Now they're sending them cars.
Right.
No, yeah. And academically, that's the worst part.
Right.
That's the absolute worst part. That, you can get paid, let's say you get paid $100,000, which is a lot of money.
Right.
But you got to pay taxes on it. And mom and dad want money, and everybody else wants money. But if you don't get the degree, you're busted, and that's with $100,000. I mean, even if it's $1 million, it's
funny. Really it's funny to say that $1 million is not what it used to be, but it's not. I mean, it's not. But these guys do have an opportunity. Like when I started in TV, it was minimum wage, and I had $0 in my bank account. They get a chance to start with a nice lump, big nest egg in their bank account that they can start with. Now, do they all take advantage of that? No. So a lot of them abuse it. A lot of them have problems there and that kind of thing. I mean,
well, and it's also, it used to be if you took a job, you see you're coaching, and you go from here to, let's say, from here to NC State. It was kind of an unwritten rule. You didn't take any of your current players.
Right.
And you didn't take any of your current recruits. Now when you go into interview, you start off with,
they ask you.
I can bring so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so. The guy in Indiana, he's a good coach now. He's good, but he's got a second-team All-Big Ten son that's got 2 more years left. I guarantee that was part of the negotiating.
Yeah.
No, it's the inmates. They're running the asylum.
That's exactly right. Mind-boggling.
But the money thing, when the Supreme Court voted 9-0, that every student, whether he or she is an athlete, a musician, an artist, no cap. So when we are sitting around like you and I are, and they go, we got to get a cap. Well, they can get a cap, but the Supreme Court's going to have to say we made a mistake. That happens every 100 years.
Yeah.
Or then I hear people say, well, Congress can't even get to work. So, I mean, they can't do anything. So that's not going to change.
No.
And then you got these, like Coach Dooley said at Kansas, they don't have to chase the NIL because they got a billionaire that's Bill's best friend.
Right.
And the guy in Illinois has got $4 billion.
We just got to find some billionaires, and we've got a couple.
Yeah, but it's just like SMU. They bought their way into the ACC. They took no TV money for 8 years or whatever.
Yep.
Because when the billionaire said, when Phillips, the head of the ACC, said, "Can you guys put together a program if you don't get the $600 million?" He said, "Well, there's nobody at this table is going to worry too much about $600 million." And that's when you're going to get some pretty good players.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy times. Mike Steele, Drew Steele, live in the studio with us. We'll take a commercial break right now. We'll be back with more. We'll also update the standings in the second chance with the Sweet 16 contest. Upsets galore all over the place. We will talk about that and more when our show continues after this.
Drew Steele.
This is a Pirate Radio Sports Break. I'm Shirley Rhodes. In area high school baseball yesterday, it was Green Central shutting out Kinston 26-0. East Carteret beat Washington 13-3. Games that are scheduled for this afternoon. South Central will host Stonebridge at 3:30. Bedingfield will be at Aden Grifton at 6 o'clock. It'll be Eastern Wayne at North Pitt at 6:30. The Pan-Pac of Washington will host Southwest Edgecombe at 6:30. And Farmville Central will travel to Tarboro for a 7 o'clock contest. In softball yesterday, it was Nash Central shutting out North Pitt 24-0. Corinth Holders shut out Farmville Central 6-0. Game scheduled for this afternoon in softball, it'll be Southwest Edgecombe in Washington at 4 o'clock. Aden Grifton hosts Bedingfield at 4. It'll be Farmville Central and Tarboro at 6 o'clock, as well as South Lenoir and South Central. Rose hosts Corinth Holders at 6, and it'll be North Pitt hosting Eastern Wayne at 7. This has been a Pirate Radio Sports Break. I'm Shirley Rhodes.
In Beaufort County, success is built together. The Washington-Beaufort County Chamber of Commerce connects leaders, supports local businesses, and helps our community thrive. From networking to community events, the Chamber is building a stronger Beaufort County every day. Get involved, grow your network, and help shape the future of beautiful Washington.
For more information on the Washington-Beaufort County Chamber of Commerce, including future events and membership, visit wbcchamber.com.
A pepperoni pizza for the table.
Thank you.
And may I suggest trying it with our Pepsi Zero Sugar? It has just the right amount of sweetness to complement all that cheesy, saucy goodness, while the carbonation and notes of citrus enhance the flavor profile. Simply divine.
Pepsi Zero Sugar? You've really outdone yourself this time. Pizza deserves Pepsi.
Miss, your burger is served.
Thank you.
And if I may suggest a pairing, this is our finest Pepsi Zero Sugar. The sweetness of Pepsi perfectly balances the savory notes of your burger, while the citrus and carbonation elevates the taste for a truly stunning flavor profile. Bon appetit.
Now that is one perfect combination. If this is how the other half lives, I could get used to this. Burgers deserve Pepsi.
Hi, I'm Ken Hagler of Taft, Hagler. We're proud to be sponsors of the Brian Bailey Show and the Pirate Nation on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. If you've been injured on the job or due to someone else's negligence in an automobile collision, call us at 752-2000 for a free consultation with experienced professionals who care. Go Pirates!
This is Jennings Hall, former ECU volleyball player, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community owned, community powered. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show. Brian Bailey with Mike Steele and Drew Steele. Drew, you doing okay over there?
Pretty good.
Good. You want to add to the conversation? You're just kind of chilling.
Go Tar Heels.
Go Tar Heels. How about that? It's on Pirate Radio. And it's going Go Tar Heels.
Drew, let's.
Who's the new coach going to be? What do you think, Coach?
I don't know. I don't one thing.
What do you know?
If you're at a school like Carolina and you just make a decision to make a change, if you do that on a Tuesday, Wednesday morning, you're announcing the new guy.
Right.
And you're like...
You got to have a plan, I think.
Well, yeah.
And there is no plan, I don't think.
Well...
There may be, but...
Well, it's like when we've made some hires. I mean, when we got rid of Coach Ruff, he was the first guy fired, and it was the last position filled. And that didn't work out very good for us.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's... I don't know. I mean, I think if you took Coach Davis's resume and he goes to interview for another job, I can't imagine someone having a better resume. You know, they went to the final game, undefeated at home, beat Duke without your best player, and they blew a 19-point lead. It was the team they missed 3 straight 1-1s, but like Coach Painter blew a 22-point lead against Nebraska. Thank God we didn't fire him. And, you know, Shire, I got guys calling saying Shire folded again. Well, his only real job at the end there was to run a play that makes sure you get the ball inbounds.
Right.
Once we got the ball inbounds,
it should have been easy.
And it was. If the kid either held on to it or threw it a little over the guy's head, the ball goes down.
There's two guys laying. Yes, two guys
wide open
underneath the basket.
But they ran a play and got the ball inbounds.
Right.
And then the guy's wide open in the middle, and that's a good play. Mm-hmm. And then you just throw it down it was just a fluke.
Yeah. It's a fluke that they got the steal. That shot was true from the time he released it.
No, that looked like a Steve Alford, Indiana high school.
Yeah.
Perfect shot. It's a perfect shot. It looked like it could have gone in the county fair out here at
with the little rims.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Braylon Mullins from 35 feet away, and it was, you know, now that you can see some of the replays, but the shocked look on all the fans' faces. And
did you see Rafferty?
Yeah, I saw that video too.
I said to Raff today, I said, just checking on your heart, brother, you know, because I mean, if you ever been around Raph, well, he is so funny and so good and so quick. But the two of them were speechless. They couldn't. They couldn't believe it happened.
What they just seen. Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Now, what do you think of Danny Hurley? And he didn't headbutt the official, but he put his head. Have you seen that video? It's really strange, if you ask me. What was that about?
You know,
and Danny Hurley may have a screw loose or two.
Well, everybody that I know that knows him said he's a great guy. But who was Williams that coached at Maryland? What was his first name? Gary Williams. Gary Williams. We were in Hawaii and we played Maryland, and I had dinner with him. He was the nicest guy ever.
Wow. Because he can't go through 3 words without one of them being a curse word when he was coaching.
But he was just as nice and humble, and we're playing and we're up like 6-4 or something, and he is screaming at the referees and did it the whole game. You know, Mick Cronin does it the whole game.
Yeah.
Coach K did it the whole game.
Coach K's wife did it the whole game.
Yeah. It makes you well. Drew met Coach Cronin, and we.
You did?
Yeah, I met Coach Cronin. We had lunch with him, and he was great with Drew. 3 minutes into practice, I said, Drew, we need to go walk around a little bit because he's screaming at these guys, and you know he's a 5'3" Caucasian, and they're 6'10". I mean, he is in their face. They just go through warm-ups. Yeah.
Speaking of Coach K, was it Reed Lose that threw the elbow at Cameron Indoor?
He didn't throw an elbow. He squared up.
He squared up.
He squared up. But
that's
when they guard you 1 inch from you.
Yeah.
If you don't square up, you can't get the ball in.
So he didn't throw an elbow. He squared up. What did Coach K call it?
A lot of 4-letter words. A lot of 4-letter words. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a little icy after that, wasn't it? For the time being.
Well, and you know what? Like the first year we played them, and we were fortunate to play them 4 times, all at Cameron.
Very fortunate.
Oh yeah. I finally told Dave Hart, we were getting like I think $12,000 or something. I mean, it was no money.
Oh.
And I was making no money, but I had given the summer camp money not to have to go back to Cameron. And I went last week. One of my very best friends, his daughter, is the general manager of the NIL with Duke basketball.
Okay.
And so I went to the shoot around the day of the game. And Shire's got 4 little kids, just cute as can be, all under probably 8 or 10. So I'm playing with the kids. Afterwards, he comes up and he says, Coach, you can come anytime, he said, but you got to play with the kids. and I said, John, this is the first time I've been here in a long time that I didn't have PTSD syndrome. And he says, yeah, you're not the first coach that has said that. Yeah, and when Mike Bray was the best.
Oh yeah.
And he goes to different places, but then he goes to Notre Dame. They get to the Sweet 16 4 or 5 times. They get the final, the Elite 8. But they wanted to go to the next level.
Yeah, everybody wants to go to the next level, don't they?
And I got to remind them that most of the houses, not here in Eastern North Carolina, but most of the houses have a basement. And that can be the next level, too.
Yeah.
And it happens more often now because if you fire your coach, you better not only have somebody walking in that not only keeps guys, but can get guys to come because things have changed. And like Mike Bray, the players loved him. When they fired him, every player left.
Yeah.
And so you're starting from scratch. And you start from scratch in this era, it's hard.
But, it's almost like some teams are going to start from scratch every year. I mean, that's just what we're looking at.
No. And it doesn't really make any difference anymore whether you're coaching at East Carolina or NC State. I mean, the coach that was at NC State, he has destroyed that program. Destroyed it because everybody's going to leave. You got a new guy coming in. They'll be last in the ACC. And he came in, and now he goes back to LSU, and they hire him. It's just
that was crazy.
No,
and the stuff coming out, and then when at his introduction, he said those State fans are really mad at a coach they didn't think was very good anyway. But he took a little jab at him.
Oh no, he can't help himself.
Oh, he can't.
No,
I think it's like a snake oil salesman.
Well, and you know what though. That's on the NC State, whoever hired him, because
you got to look at that because
it's the Steve Logan syndrome.
Oh.
They knew he was a black snake when they hired him. Don't be act like you're surprised when he bit you on your deathbed. Don't say like, "Well, I didn't have any idea you were a bad guy."
Yeah, yeah, that was. And I wonder how those negotiations went because he knew all along he was going to go to LSU. And so, they talked about how they were in negotiations to keep him and this and that. But you wonder.
He said, this will be the worst team I ever coached at NC State. Well, he was right there.
Yeah.
Because he won't be coming back.
Man, Justin Gainey gets the job now, and he's been on Rick Barnes' staff for 5 years, and
he's been a lot of places.
Yeah,
and I don't know anything about him.
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
I remember he was playing guard for North Carolina State. It was the late 90s, early 2000s. But I think, when you look at that job and what it entails, I mean, you're in the shadows of UNC and Duke year in and year out, and that's tough there.
Oh no, it's but I know they had somebody step up with a whole bunch of money, and I've talked to Mike Warren who played there, and they got a billionaire that stepped up, but he may not be stepping up. I think he had a little bad taste in his mouth.
Yeah. I think that happens a lot, where the guy that gives a bunch of money has a bad taste in his mouth.
Yeah,
that's a difficult deal. When you look back at your guys, I mean, what would they have gotten NIL? What would Blue Edwards have gotten NIL wise?
He'd have got a bunch.
Yeah, he was good.
No, he'd have got a bunch. I mean, that's a perfect example of we'd have had him for, I only had him for 1 year, but the year I had him, he was third or fourth in the country in scoring.
Yeah.
I mean, he wouldn't have been a Pirate.
He put on a show,
and
man.
Western Lions wouldn't have been a Pirate.
Yeah, Blue Edwards was just incredible as a player. Just the way he went about it, and I remember he was the Player of the Year in the Colonial, and that speech that he gave at the banquet. And tournaments don't do banquets anymore. They don't do stuff like that anymore. But back then,
remember who our MC was at the banquet?
I do remember that. He told the off-color joke. The really.
I don't remember that, but I remember his position. It was just getting started with.
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about the guy at ESPN.
There was a guy from the CBS affiliate at one of those banks. I was thinking about because he told an off-color joke and put Billy Packer in the joke, and Billy Packer got mad at him and told the commissioner, told Tom Yeager, said, "Hey, you got to get a better MC because this guy's a clown."
Who was the guy that did the NFL the minute at halftime?
Kid Clip Brocken here, he knows. I know you're talking about. I can't remember.
About Berman, right?
It was Chris Berman. Yeah, it was Chris Berman. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was Chris Berman. That was a different year with the other guy. Yeah, it was Chris Berman for that year, and that was.
We had to get Blue. He didn't have any money. Had to get him a sport coat. Had to get him a tie, and it was just It was really neat, though.
Yeah, he spoke from the heart, and it was really, really well done, and it was a neat deal. And things change. I mean, there is no more Colonial Athletic Association. Did you know that? Now it's the Coastal Athletic Association, and their teams don't even make any sense. Like the ACC doesn't make any sense.
The Big Ten.
Yeah,
the Big Ten. If you'd have told me Oregon, Washington, UCLA, and Southern Cal. If you came from another planet, you'd say, well, this map must be...
Yeah, this map is all out of whack.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, Stanford and Cal, those big ACC rivals. Yeah.
No, it's just...
It's unbelievable. All right, Mike Steele's our guest. Drew Steele is with him. We'll take another commercial break. We'll come back. We'll take a look at the Final Four. We'll get his picks. That's coming up in just a bit.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers does real burgers better than anybody. And don't forget about the cheese sticks, fresh salads, and more. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, burgers and sports at its best.
Go Pirates!
Greenville Motor Company celebrating 40 years serving the automotive needs of Greenville and Eastern Carolina. Here is Greenville Motor Company's Brian Cook.
Our factory-trained service professionals with years of experience are here to work on all makes and models of your vehicles, and we want to service your vehicles for life. We have comprehensive vehicle maintenance, oil changes, brake service, tire rotations, and much more.
Greenville Motor Company, locally owned by the Cook family, right across from Greenville Nissan at 1000 Southwest Greenville Boulevard. Go to driveherenow.com. Driven by service, powered by trust. Greenville Motor Company.
Pirate fans, there's nothing like a home game at Dowdy Ficklen Stadium, and it takes all of Pirate Nation to make it so special. Season tickets are on sale now, starting for as low as $75 a ticket. Payment plans and other season ticket benefits are available to those who lock in their tickets early. For more information or to purchase your tickets, head to ECUPirates.com or call the ECU Athletics Ticket Office at 1-800-DIAL-ECU.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Jeremy Lewis, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community-owned utilities mean local control, low rates, and high reliability. Now, back to the show.
All right.
Might have social services.
might have that for sure. Welcome back to our show. Mike Steele, Drew Steele here in the studio with us. We're going to talk about the Final Four. We'll get you guys picks, and we'll also let's update the standings for the second chance with the Sweet 16. And our leader going into Final Four weekend is our good friend from CBS 17, Todd Gibson.
Second chance with the Sweet 16.
There you go. Todd Gibson is our leader. He picked UConn to beat Duke, and he's got Michigan and he's got Arizona as three of his Final Four. So he's got three of the Final Four, and that's better than anybody else in our pool had a chance to do. So
I'm sure everybody else probably had Houston.
I had Houston. I had Iowa State.
Yeah, I had Iowa State's best player got hurt.
Yeah,
and that really hurt him because he's a good coach and they have a great program.
Well, they didn't. They messed us up on our brackets, but anyway.
Did you miss the part where I said their best player didn't
play? I did hear that, Pack. So Todd Gibson is the leader, and we will next week on our show we'll make the presentation if Gibby hangs on, which he most likely will. He's got three of the Final Four. He's got Arizona to beat Michigan, and he's got UConn to beat Houston. So if it's Arizona, UConn in the national championship game, then he's got Arizona to win it all. So he's got pretty good selections there for our second chance with the Sweet 16.
I think Michigan will beat Arizona.
You got Michigan over Arizona? All right, let's ask the Drew man. Drew,
who you like, buddy?
Who you like?
Michigan or Arizona?
Arizona. Good pick.
Okay.
Good pick. Who you got in the other one? You got Illinois and UConn. UConn. Good selections there. Who wins the national championship now? Will it be Arizona or UConn? UConn.
Oh,
wow. How about that?
Drew,
that's some picking there.
No.
How about that?
Yeah, who's Dad got?
Michigan.
It's got Michigan.
I'd like to see Illinois beat UConn. And they can.
Yeah, they can.
They can. But then I would take Michigan. I think Michigan's just really good.
So you got Michigan to win the whole thing. Mm-hmm. So you got Michigan, you got UConn.
And the Big Ten hadn't won since 2020, I think.
Been a while. Several years.
25 years. And it was Michigan State, I believe. Yeah, and Izzo's a survivor. He's kind of like Coach Painter. He doesn't have any hobbies. He's just his basketball, and he cares about his kids. But this education thing is driving him crazy because we're used to say, if you're not doing this academically, you're not playing.
Right.
Well, now they go, not doing what? Yeah.
It's really fascinating how we got here, and that's what I can't figure out. There had to be a meeting at some point and say, okay, look, we're just not going to screw with anybody. We're just going to let them do whatever they want to do and let it go from there. And it just doesn't make any sense and it's like that. I mean, college football. Just think about basketball is one thing. You got 12 players. 15 players on a roster. College football with those big roster sizes and everything. How do you keep up with all that? I mean,
well, you've got. When Mike Houston was here, I asked Mike before the spring game, I said, guys ready to have a spring game? He goes, we have three coaches that their job is to recruit the guys that are already here.
Right.
Re-recruit them. Then we got three coaches that are recruiting the guys who've signed because I don't even know why they have a signing date because you can leave the next day. And then he said, and then we've got three guys checking the portal, trying to do background checks, make sure they're not a serial killer. They can just be you can kill once, but you can't bring in a serial killer.
Can't kill more than once.
No, and I said, what? He goes, we really haven't even talked about the game. We'll figure something out. The spring game. It's crazy.
I remember the first year that was going on, and we went to see Mike Houston, and he was like he hadn't slept in days, and it was fascinating to see and to hear him talk about how worried he was about this and that, and trying to get this done and that done. And I think coaches have evolved and learned a little bit more since that first year. And really, when you look at it, it kind of tells you just what a job Blake Harrell has done at East Carolina.
Yes,
because Blake Harrell, he lost his offensive coordinator, his defensive coordinator. He lost running back. He lost quarterback. It was unbelievable what he took up to the Military Bowl. It was the second straight year the Pirates were in the Military Bowl. So to be honest with you, nobody was that excited about going back because they'd just been there. And to take all those factors involved and to play the game that they played and that defensive line dominated like they did, quarterback did his job, and they really got screwed up on that one play when the inadvertent whistle and overcame all of that to win the game.
You know what? I really give Coach credit because I'm watching the game. And when they had that screwed up call, I could tell whoever he was talking to on the headset kept talking about that, and he finally just said, "You gotta let it go.
Yeah,
we got to move on." And that's the mark of a guy that's got driven and knows what he's doing and has a.
But the worst part about that was the very next play was the sack and the fumble and
oh no!
I mean that thing turned quickly.
It's hard to. Everybody knows it's tough to be a Pirate.
Oh yeah,
I mean, you've seen it all.
Tough to be a Pirate, but that was just one of the great coaching stories I think that I've seen in all the years that I've been here. So, what year did you arrive here?
86.
Yeah, I got here in 84. Sandy always tells the story that I heard you were getting the job, and I was trying to make phone calls to get it confirmed, and I called your house and talked to Sandy. And Sandy wasn't talking to you at the time, so she didn't talk to me
No,
either.
Exactly. No. She didn't know where Greenville, North Carolina was. She's a Midwest girl.
Yeah, she probably wasn't too excited. And the one trip we went to, I think it was Toledo. Did we went to a tournament in Toledo?
Yeah.
And I made the trip with you guys, and I remember on the bus. Oh, we played at Purdue. Did we played
at Purdue?
Played at Purdue.
But we also played at Toledo. And Sandy, I was a graduate assistant at Bowling Green, which is 20 minutes from there. And so she was the assistant manager of a Paul Harris the year I was coaching at my graduate year at Bowling Green.
Oh.
And we had people come and see us. I mean, I was in charge of, that was back when you had a JV team. And I coached the JV team, but I also opened the racquetball court at 5 a.m. And she did the same with her job. No kids.
Yeah.
We had a blast. We didn't have any money, but didn't care.
It was the Purdue trip I think I was thinking about because what was the coach at Purdue? Legendary with
Coach Katie.
Coach Katie, yeah, Gene Katie, and that was a neat trip because I remember on the bus going from the airport to the Coliseum or something, and you were showing me different, I dated that girl over there.
No.
Yeah, it was a little bit of that.
So there's the library.
Yeah, we went parking over there.
No, there's the library.
Yeah, there's the library. All right.
No.
Well, that was a good trip, and just seeing all of that at Purdue. You played in 65 games as a player. Did you know the stats? Do you know what you averaged points per game?
Very many. I was more of a passer.
3.1 points per game, 1.5 rebounds a game, 2.2 assists per game. So you got some things done when you were in there. What did you shoot from the free throw line? You remember?
Well, it had to be close to 70, I would say.
72% from the free throw line. How about from the field? What did you shoot?
But you know what?
Field?
When you don't get to play very much, if you miss 2 free throws,
You're out.
It's hard to get that back. No.
As a player, how much did you enjoy it as a player, and how much did you enjoy it as a coach? How do you compare the two?
Well, playing's fun. I mean, playing's fun, and if you lose, you feel bad until you get out of the locker room, and then you go on with your life.
Right.
Know? When you coach, I mean, every day's the same. I mean, Monday's the same as Christmas, and Tuesday's the same as Thanksgiving. Every day's the same. And now, I mean, the recruiting part of it and trying to keep guys and steal guys. You know, there are guys when this first came out, they wouldn't let their players go through and shake hands with the other because they didn't want another assistant saying, "Hey, I like your game. Do you like it here?" Or, "You didn't get to play much today. You're getting really cheated," you know what? And they're agents, and it just shows you, like, your point was, how did it happen this fast? Well, for 100 years, if you hired an agent, you were immediately ineligible.
Right.
And now they all got an agent, and they all got another lawyer, and they all got their posse with the AAU coaches. The high school coach is irrelevant now.
Yeah.
And the other thing, BB, is people aren't recruiting high school kids like they did because now, like my friend Campy, who's the coach at Oakland, he said, Steele, now we recruit guys. We have 3 or 4 junior colleges that we're close to. We send them there. They stay 1 or 2 years, but then they could go redshirt, and then they have 4 years left to play because the JUCO years don't count anymore. You could have a guy not only 27 or 28. They say, well, you could be married and have kids. He said, I said, you could be married, divorced, or married and have more kids or whatever. It's insane.
And that's basically what you're looking at, marriage, divorce, when you go to a different school.
Yeah. Skip Holtz had the best line.
Yeah.
Skip said a couple of weeks ago, I said, Coach, you'd have trouble coaching college at this stage. He said, well, I was really big on our guys being able to sing the fight song afterwards. He said, now they get the teams mixed up. It's crazy.
It is. And the fact that they don't have to be eligible, that's the part that it makes no sense. I mean, basically, it's not college anymore. It's AAA. I mean, it's basically, it's a professional sport.
And why do they have to make a guy now go his freshman year to college when they're either getting paid in college and not going to school, or they're getting paid in the pros? But if you go and you go to the G League, now you can come back.
Yeah.
No.
That's weird, too.
So now, as Painter said, now we just got to add another thing on the board, G League. Because a guy could be in the G League for 4 or 5 years, come back and have 4 years to play college.
And in junior college, they're saying that doesn't count against you?
Doesn't count.
So you can go play 2 years of junior college.
Do you ever Google any of this stuff before you do your show?
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, no.
No, I'm King Google. Captain Google.
No, so the junior college, they're exploding now because kids are going to junior college because guys are saying, we want you when you're 23. You're not strong enough now at 18 or 19. So you go to a good junior college. And, I mean, like our junior college here, it could really be a great feeding system if people would look at it and say, we're going to put a bunch of money into the junior college program here. And it's a great junior college. I mean, it's
right.
And we're going to build baseball and basketball. And we're going to have a pipeline to East Carolina.
Yeah.
But the agent goes, this is a great pipeline, but it's not the same pipeline going to Toledo or someplace.
Different place.
That's the other thing. Since there's no contract, if you're an agent in the pros, you get between 3 and 4%. Well, there's no contract. So now agents are charging 25% of what you're getting. And now you're there for a year. I get you to move somewhere else. I get another 25%. It's to say it's upside down would be an understatement.
Yeah, crazy. You ever miss it, coaching?
God, no. I'll tell you what I miss.
What's that?
I coached at Epps for, 5 years.
Did you have Clip at some point in his career? Clip Brock?
Yeah, I sure miss coaching Cliff.
Cliff.
What did you say?
I said, Cliff. I said, I miss coaching Cliff.
Cliff who?
You know what? Clip. As long as his mom made cookies,
he was on the team.
We kept him on the team.
Yeah.
I still have nightmares from Coach Steele. He coached the middle school team like it was the damn Showtime Lakers.
I think the first time I yelled at Clip and he started crying, I thought, no.
I wasn't the only one, at least.
No, but we kept you because of Mom.
Did you say something about throwing a whistle or a watch earlier?
Yeah.
Coach Steele had a few whistle tosses at AG
I
Cox
bet.
back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, he thought it was his whistle and it was his watch.
We had
care
good teams at AG Cox.
We had great teams.
Yeah. And you were one of the best.
Best what?
Cookie bringers.
Hang on.
Hey, I won an award, Coach.
Give me a second.
You won an award. What'd you win?
It's the coach's award that they just give the guy that shows up to practice and never plays.
How about that?
But I showed up to practice.
He won the coach's award.
Yeah.
And the cookies, I'm telling you.
Cookie award.
Yeah.
Does she still make those cookies?
Everybody's got a roll, Coach.
Yeah, I know. I'm big on that.
Everybody's got a roll. Always remember that. All right, let's take our final break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up this edition of the Brian Bailey Show for you right after this.
The 9th annual NC Pirate Classic is back. Coming Saturday, April 4th. Presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate. Youth hunters from all over the state are headed east, and the top scoring birds will win great prizes. Weigh-in will be held at Davenport Farms on Highway 264 in Greenville. Brought to you by Sam Jones Barbecue, the Dixie Deer Classic, Grady White Boats, Greenville Marine and Outdoor Shop, Mountain Dew, Country Mart, Moultrie Cameras, Carolina Ice, Simply Natural Creamery, Fox Brothers Construction, BAM Pest Control, Doug Henry of Farmville, American Threads, Corey Kennedy State Farm, and the Robinson Law Firm. Registration is now open for all youth turkey hunters at ncpirateclassic.com. We'll see you there.
After 89 years serving the furniture needs of Greenville, Bostic Sugg Furniture is closing their doors forever. Now, all current inventory must and will be sold down to the bare walls in a massive store closing liquidation. Get to Bostic Sugg today and find a huge selection of living room furniture, dining sets, bedrooms, and mattresses all slashed in price. Nothing's held back. Hurry, it's first come, first save during the massive store closing liquidation on now at Bostic Sugg Furniture, 2115 East Fire Tower Road in Greenville. See store for details.
Come celebrate the next big Pirates win at the Rick House. The Rick House is Greenville and Eastern North Carolina's premier American-themed restaurant.
I'm Jeremy Shelton, General Manager at the Rick House. Come see us for a big city feel right here in Greenville. I guarantee you'll have a great experience.
We feature the very best bourbons around. Our made-from-scratch pastas are to die for, and nobody does steak like the Rick House. We also feature an early dining special from 4 to 6. Come see us at the Rick House, Red Banks Road in Greenville.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Jacob Jiggins Cowart, and the best place to go for custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items is University Sportswear. University Sportswear hit a home run for me when I needed my custom t-shirts. From start to finish, University Sportswear provided superior customer service and a quality product that cannot be beat. If your business, organization, or event needs t-shirts or promotional help, then you need University Sportswear. Visit universitysportswearenc.com for contact information. Go Pirates!
Hi, my name is Taylor, and I'd like for you to join me at the 3rd annual First Step 5K and 1 Mile Fun Run on Saturday, April 4th, on the beautiful grounds of Haven at Blue Creek in Grimesland. This special morning brings our community together to support women taking brave steps towards recovery. All proceeds benefit Haven at Blue Creek, a women's rehabilitation center providing a safe, nurturing environment for women overcoming addiction. As a former resident, I know firsthand how powerful your support can be. Register today on Run Sign Up, and let's take the first step together.
This is Josh Moylan, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, working for our community, not for shareholders. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to the show as we wrap things up with Mike Steele and Drew Steele. Drew, you've got a big spring ahead of you, right? You got the Exceptional Community Baseball League. You're one of the stars.
Sure.
I think Drew's one of the longest tenured players in that league. I think Bella's one of the longest tenured players, but Drew may have her by a year or two.
Are you coaching again this year?
Oh, yeah. We're back out there with the WNCT Not On Your Side sports team.
You guys going down.
Yeah.
You're going down.
Yeah. We probably are. We probably are.
Drew.
Yeah. Last year I had 3 girls. I think they lived in a halfway house or something. Right. And they were great. They were just super kids, and they appreciate everything you do so much. It really warms your heart. But then one of them came one time, and I said, where are you? 2 other ones they got in trouble, and they wouldn't let them come. I'm like, wait a minute now, can't we punish them in some other way besides not letting them come to baseball?
Oh yeah,
I mean that's
make them do the dishes or something.
Yeah, exactly. So I got to have that talk with some of mine once I get my roster straightened out.
Are you keeping track of your record?
Yeah, it's not as good without Drew Steele in the first base coaching box. I can tell you.
I played 1.
Yeah, you were the best first base coach in the history of the league.
That is 72.
Yeah.
Drew, nobody's talking to you right now.
Yeah. 87.
87?
Woo!
Hush.
Yeah, how old are you now, Drew?
41.
41, man. I'll tell you what.
I can remember him being on my shoulders for the Special Olympics in the United Way.
Yeah.
Carrying him around with a hat on backwards and Man,
time flies. I remember you guys introduced me to Special Olympics, and and I've still been there every year. We got April 8th and 9th coming up.
No.
When is it?
Wait. April 9th, April 10th.
April 9th and 10th. All right, see? There you go.
Welcome to my world.
Thank you, Drew. I appreciate that. It's on my calendar, but I know it's two days, and it's gotten so big that they have to do 2 days, and that's a good thing.
It's great.
For Special Olympics.
If you want to feel good and watch these kids, Joey Baggett and I, we did the 100 meter, I think it was 50 meter.
Yeah.
And we didn't, we're doing the thing, and we have the meet starts, and they're all blind. There's 5 blind kids, and so we have the rope, and then there's a baton that slides through it.
Yeah.
So we got all set, and we talked to them, and we thought that they would all, like, kind of 3/4 walk down.
They took off.
They ran into each other. I've never been so embarrassed in my life. We started it, and we had to blow. Nobody finished. Everybody got hurt. The parents were going crazy. We're like,
I remember the first ECBL meeting I went to, and I was going to be a coach, and we were in the meeting, and I said, okay, now how many nights a week can we practice? And they all looked at me like, what are you thinking?
No, there's no practice.
There's no practice. No practice in the ECBL. But come out and see us at the Sarah Vaughn Field of Dreams.
Kids have a blast.
We have a good time out there. And opening ceremonies. When are opening ceremonies, Drew Steele? You know that answer, too.
That's 92.
When is it?
I don't know.
Oh,
when's the opening ceremony?
I think it's April 18th. Same day as the spring football game. Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. We got to get out of here. Drew, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it. Coach Steele, thanks so much.
Baby. Always fun.
Love you both a whole lot. That's our show for this week. We'll see you back here next week on The Brian Bailey Show.
This has been The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, and also brought to you by
Bojangles, Bostic Sugg, Michelob Ultra, East Coast Grading, DriveHereNow.com, Greenville Utilities, Papa John's, Pepsi, Taft and Hagler, The Rick House, and Tiebreakers.
Join us next week for another edition of The Brian Bailey Show, right here on Pirate Radio. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM.